Hello, hello. I'm not gonna make a sketch or something to open this time. This was very fun and I want to keep going today. Okay, it seems that the microphone is correctly working, so let's go. Oh wait, maybe I should just... Yeah, I can hear the game here. Okay, got it. Sorry for that. Okay. And recording. So last time, we found Jean in Windbanks. And the owner of the place is dead. And I don't know exactly how that happened. But a lot of the things that we are thinking right now is that maybe she went inside in order to look for the... what's the name of that again? Oh right, the manuscript of Iris of the Hound of Baskervilles, which apparently is based on the history from her father, which she keeps in the diaries that they take. Well, no more to speak of. Let's keep going where we started off last time. I'll be alright, Mr. Neruda. After them, go! Behind the door. The storeroom. Hurry! It's Gina! Thank you, love this game. From that one moment, Windema's broker became a crime scene. Okay, let's see. This is here, this is over here. I made over here, and for the volume, there it is. Windema's pawnbroker became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 22MB. April 16th. Hello, Gina. I'm Iris. Oh, Iris! Oh, really? Immediately? Okay. Oh, hi, Christine. How you doing today? I'm happy to know that you're watching it here at me. I'm Blaine, the greatest attorney. I'm having fun with this. And we started with a little 10-year-old girl, so my voice is going to suffer right now. A telegram came, but Alex said it was wait at home. Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was alone. Harley and Gina were gone. Everyone was gone. So what do you think? Is my voice actually reflecting a little girl? It's actually very hard to do. What happened, Runa? Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard to not let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Okay. Pretty sure that they're not gonna allow me to investigate anything. That spade has been in here since we started renting the place. Oh my god, they really are? Luna, that's not a spade, it's a shovel. Oh, you're a shoveler, are you? I had a feeling you'd pick me up on that. Oh no, a pick is something else entirely. This is not the moment, but okay. Now I'll tuck myself into an even deeper hole. It's a spring at last and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, how about some tea, Runa? Thanks, Iris, but I'm alright for now. With the green tea Susato-san makes me from time to time and Iris' unique herbal infusions, this place is paradise for a true tea lover.
If you're sure, you know I always have plenty whenever you're feeling thirsty.
She's gonna be an assistant, isn't she? So this is the tea set that Miss Susato brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter!
This is lovely green tea has quite an impact for Hurley, you know. He stopped putting milk and sugar in his coffee even.
Oh wow!
And Hurley is normally bitterly opposed to bitterness.
The Daruma doll I brought with me from home. Still with only one eye coloring. I said I color on the other eye from yes, I actually read this yesterday.
That's cruel! Only didn't have one eye!
Yes, but it's because I don't consider myself a good enough lawyer yet, you see. Once I become a fully fledged lawyer, Miss Susato will color in the other eyes for me. Thank you. I did my best.
Well, in that case, why not color in the other eye now? And then every time you win a new case, give it an extra eye.
What?
You can never have too many eyes, you know.
Yes, but I cannot reach that high of a tone, you know, Kristen. This is very hard. Call me crazy, but I never considered that. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already.
At least...
Wow! Iris from an opener, it's very hard to do. I guess I'm gonna have to take some coffee. Blacker than a moonless night, bitter and hotter than hell itself. That is coffee. And I love it.
Hurley's desk is far worse, you know.
I'm sure if I try hard enough I can make my desk as messy as Mr. Sholmes.
I wonder.
You don't think I can?
Well, it takes a certain genius to reach that level of disorder, you know.
The path through mess is so long and arduous, The path through mess is long and arduous, it seems. It would be hilarious to hear Susato-san discuss about being that way.
Oh, this looks like a telegram.
It is, but you mustn't open it. Not under any circumstances.
Alright, I won't. Now then, let's see.
X-ray vision. No, what did you say? You mustn't open it.
Don't worry, I won't. With this special concussion I developed, I'll be able to see through the envelope without having to open it.
Oh my god. No, that's not allowed either.
Oh, but I'm sure it's something important.
Little geniuses sure can be mischievous. Just ask Jimmy Neutron. We were rather lucky to find that old aquarium, blah blah blah. The problems we're putting there are doing rather well, and the bonus too.
Apparently, tanks like those were very popular in London before I was born.
Oh, you mean they're not anymore?
I think people discovered it was too much effort to clean them out and change the water all the time.
I can't believe that. Prawns and anemones are fun for a while. What are prawns? You know, I've never been inside Miss Susato's room. I haven't so much as put my head around the door.
Oh, Susie Soft invites me up. It's so much fun!
Really? What's her room like?
I can't tell you that.
Oh?
The John Mater's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know.
Where have we heard that before? I suppose some things are the same the world over. Okay, enough fooling around. Yeah, sure. Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a normal thing, really, but... Oh, yes, this actually is the same dialogue as yesterday. Okay. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windybank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Early, okay.
Yes, I had a feeling.
You did?
Well, I saw all of the police carriages pulling up outside his shop. So I know something must have happened there.
When we entered Windybank's in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out on the street, and I chased after them, but they got away.
So it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windybank, I suppose.
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment.
Why not?
They arrested someone else as their prime suspect. You see, Gina.
Jenny! But why?
Well, the thing is...
No! Jenny wouldn't do something like that!
I know! None of us think she did it!
Then why have they arrested her?
I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do.
I don't understand why they arrested Jeannie. It's not fair.
What about
the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Harley dead, didn't they?
No! I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
This is all so horrible.
The thing is, Mr. Windybank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles, and the storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no!
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards...
Don't tell me! There was no one else in the room.
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well?
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't.
So where's Harley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to the hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Windybanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet.
Harley was shot? No! No!
It's alright! His life isn't in danger!
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinner. They're tending to him there. St. Sinner? Steiner? How do you pronounce it? Okay.
I must see him at once!
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair! I'm a family member! I should be allowed!
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
To operate? Oh, poor Harley.
In your homes. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed him, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. Just froze. Ah! After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. Good night, Kristen. I know it's very late for you. Isn't it almost... I was gonna say midnight, but I thought that it was 10 PM. Okay, take care and sleep well. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Bruno. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris.
What about Susie, Bruno?
Oh. She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't finish for a while. I think I should share my own story.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, but they weren't questioning me for long. And Mr. Sato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Shone, so they didn't get started until later. That was a rare sound. Okay.
Ah, I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know and I would have come to the station.
I think somebody is knocking down a tree or something because it sounds like a saw blade. Okay. I'm afraid I need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Runa. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of the murder. I hope that the sentence don't try to do the same thing with a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me?
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Gina's at the prison, and Mr. Sholmes is probably at in his hospital bed.
And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
Ah, I guess that you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Did it change? Yeah, it changed. Okay. Okay, here it is.
Hurley says that Waggy is a memento too.
What? How?
He tried really hard to get the little fella to stay in the shelves at first.
Of course he wouldn't, he's alive.
But he had to give up in the end. Waggy just wouldn't keep still.
Yes, funny dad. He's a cat. Your beautiful tea set is there in the table as usual. A cup of one of your special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain.
Poor Hurley. He hasn't had a drop of tea today. I wish I could take some to the hospital for him.
Pretty sure they won't allow you. This is where you note ideas, isn't it, Iris? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery.
We visited Boscombe Valley recently for a picnic, you see, but I forgot to bring the tea. And when Hurley became thirsty, he decided to drink from Boscombe Pool. He gave himself an awful tummy ache.
Oh dear.
Hurley sat there miserable as can be in that field of flowers after that, just like when you saw him yesterday.
That really is an unsavory tale. That's a charming little white shelf and full of charming little bottles too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
I'm so close now. I'm nearly in the middle of a rainbow smoke grenade, you know.
You're still working on those colorful but foamy explosives, are you?
I tell you what, when I perfected it, I'll fire the first shot at you, Runa.
What an honor. Come to think of it, I haven't seen you doing much writing recently, Iris. There's paper already set up in the typewriter, I noticed, as if you're about to start.
I'm a little bit stuck for a new story idea, actually.
Well, you could consider using what happened to Mr. Natsume, perhaps?
Oh yes! It's a fabulous idea, and a great title has just popped into my head as well. The Adventure of the Carryman. How's that, Runa?
Could it be? Okay. I thought that was gonna be a real Holmes book, but apparently I'm saved. That was a dumb name. First burning comfortable the great again to gains, but different to Anthony. There is. What?
Hurley's been working as on his disguising recently. He's been dressing as a woman mainly.
Really? Mr. Sholmes dresses in woman's clothes?
Yes. You see the in the photograph printed on the mantelpiece? That's Hurley.
He's quite stunning. It's an unusual way to make use of a huge metal chest as a table for tea and coffee. But it is a very sturdy box, and I've noticed that it's always locked.
Well, that's because that box contains some of my most important things.
Which you have no intention of telling me more about, judging from that guarded smile. Wait, what are you talking about? We already know that it's the stories from the diary. Oh, I guess it didn't get updated on that one. Apparatus, papers. Oh, here.
Yes, Hurley does tend to overload the shelves.
That's one way of putting it.
He wanted to look something up in one of those books the other day, you know. But it was so tightly cramming he gave up and just went to buy a brand new copy instead.
Oh god, Sherlock.
That's right, but Hurley isn't a very good sheriff, sadly. I can't remember how many times he had to replaster the patch off the wall before he managed to make the letters.
Wait, what? Is he a patriot or a plaster? Oh, the violin. Now this really is Mr. Sholmes' faithful performing partner then. The Stradivarius? Stradivarius. It's no good, it's gone. Blah blah blah.
I hope Hurley gets well soon. I miss hearing his violin playing already.
Oh, Iris, I'm sure he will.
Hurley lives in an absolute mess all the time. He never notices when things go missing.
Mr. Sholmes must have noticed that huge lump of metal is no longer there, surely. I like to explore everything here. Oh! There's actually something in here. Okay. There is? There is.
When Hurley comes back home, let's have a big party!
That's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Sholmes is very tough.
Yes.
There's still a Scotland Yard There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside of Windybanks.
I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home.
Poor Irish is very upset by all this. I'm sorry I was there. I should have done more.
I don't think it's your fault, Bruno. So please don't apologize.
But
It's the criminals who are to blame for all this. But let's investigate and work out how to catch them.
Yes, you're right. Oops. Ah, there it is.
This is where it happened then? Last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables.
But we're from the policeman in here. You wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone is the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oh, I heard that! Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose you know to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed at least. Shame you let the two rock get away, mind? Yes, I'm sorry about that.
I thought your assignments were meant to be around here, Grexy. Now look what's happened! Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty!
Your ladyship! That's right! No one told me you were coming!
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship! The very best doctors in the capital are turning to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Hurley's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship, as you say, ma'am, as you say. Why? The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice? What the heck?
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of the special herbal tea with me if you'd like some.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious.
Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Oh, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You didn't touch anything in here. Oh, but we were hoping to investigate. This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake, no touching.
What's the problem, Grexy? You're just a lawyer, you know that.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship, ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruto was too happy and appropriately appointed by the accused witness, that'd be another matter. The accused? If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to lead your nose around.
Did you hear that, Runa? You need Jeannie to sign some representation papers.
It looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paper was the only way. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your pen about what did you think? Don't tend to share, Sunshine, not with the general public.
In that case, Grexy, how about some herbal tea?
Ah, lovely. Thank you very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. You don't mind sharing that, then? So, how is the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple cases. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge the divers we arrested. The diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina? You're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me!
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid...
I see! You've already captured a pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, aren't you?
How could you? How? How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. I'm pretty sure that this is not the voice that I gave this guy, but whatever. Did you arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads of the van. And Mr. Lestrade is being held at the prison? It should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Well, she's a skill like that. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on some sinners. Why can I see him? A family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's a hospital policy. No visiting at all. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh no.
It didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? He'll be able to make him better.
Oh, of course, your ladyship. He'll be as dry as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, because, of course. Yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. Oh my god. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, sunshine! Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right. You treat us differently.
It's because of those adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories. That's why. Oh, I crop up in M, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the Inspector, Iris?
I don't remember that, really.
It was one of Mr. Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month might pay double! Double, I tell you! Oh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the jar reads them. They read all of Sherlock Holmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady for me.
Toady? And you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No. The great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think about what will happen to my salary if that came out in print, huh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Grexy.
Every month when the new Rance magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
Glug glug glug. Teetotal. Oh, yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message? I wonder what it could be. This is gonna be from Gina, ain't it? Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side. Your assistant. Oh!
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. You have to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course, I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her in there in a jar carriage. Sorry. After we'd finished questioning her. but she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a blooming message in service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Susie have to go to see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. But I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Did you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at the suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe things the same about you. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this may be the Lord Chief Justice. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangement, I trust.
Yes, thank you very much.
There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look so very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. There it is. That's the accent that the kind of voice that I was giving this guy. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what? Wait, what did you say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san!
Mr. Naruhodo.
What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's all this all about? Why were you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Jenny's trial? You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Oh, I've always dreamed of sitting at a huge desk like that and I'm looking important.
Why did you try it then? Discreetly, of course.
Alright, I will. Let me have a look. Well, Rena, what do you think?
A little too discreet, I can't even see you. Those giant suits of armor are still facing each other menacingly across the room.
I just can't understand why anyone would wear things like that in battle. They must be so heavy.
I expect you'd invent some special lightweight suit if it was down to you, wouldn't you, Iris?
I think if it was me, I'd have made a world where people didn't need to fight each other in the first place.
Iris, you're a champion.
Well, what do you think? That was about an answer, wasn't it?
It's 10, Ryunosuke, 10! And she's leading you around by the nose. Books.
Oh my goodness, just look at all these books.
Yes, there are books about the judicial system of all over different Western nations.
Even for someone like me, it would take at least 10 days to read all of these.
10 days?
Oh, I was only joking, Runa. I thought it would be fun to play up my genius.
It's scarily believable with you, that's the trouble.
I love clocks and their mechanism, don't you? Like way all the hundreds of pieces fit together and work as one to move the hands of a single timepiece.
Yes, I can imagine clocks are just your cup of tea.
When I was little, I used to dream of one day living inside a clock, you know.
Then you must be envious of Lord Chief Justice having his office in a place like this, I suppose.
No, not really.
Oh?
Well, I mean, that's your dream for when you're little. Don't be silly now.
Don't let Stroll or Strongheart hear you talking like that. It means a great deal with me. Okay. At least I got her to smile. Somehow. Miss Susato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has.
That's not what I asked! What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no!
Professor Mikotoba? If I may. Yes, sir? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe? Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Jumei University. So he's sick? We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker by the day.
I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Chisato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening!
Tsujino has been charged? She'll have to appear in court?
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No! Not even 24 hours later?
Gina! Ah, the Lestrade girls and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the charge is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time! Ginny would never do something like that!
Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference of your fine services today, I shall overlook this young girl's insult. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now.
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are getting perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours. I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me." There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair! Yeah, she might be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Is... Okay, they don't look the same. But I've just noticed that they both wear the same kind of cane. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Ina charged with murder, Susato-san about to leave.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Wow, this is a hospital? I'm just seeing the cracks in the wall.
Mr. Shum is nowhere to be seen.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Harley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Shum suffered.
Oh dear. I do hope Mr. Sholmes will be alright.
Hello, hello. What have we have here? This world is off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing here, huh?
Well, I'll have you know. We heard these nets of kin.
Yeah? Oh, well, begging your pardon, then, madam. A little lady and a curious Eastern pair. The great mystery solver as a mystery family. The great mystery solver as a mysterious family, huh? If that's how you see us, sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theater, madam, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in.
Oh my. Has there been some kind of problem?
Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is.
No?
I have heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Ah. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he wouldn't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Anything to check here? Oh. This must be Mr. Sholmes' bed.
Poor Hurley.
I know, it looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that will bother him.
No?
After having him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world.
I could call the police if I discover someone like that. There's a notice board on the wall here, look! Let's see what does it say. Thought of the day, on seeing any vermin, call me and discreetly inform Matron.
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospital like this that love to feast in all the medicine.
Really?
If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Really? I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose.
But the doctors and nurses are very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so for Mr. Shulm's sake. I wonder what these are. You have an idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries to help them walk. Hold one under each arm, you see?
Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and been brought here along with his weapons.
That's surprisingly possible.
I have to admit that was very unexpected. And now, Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie. Hello, Gina. They let you keep that? Really?
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher helmet I made.
I wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. What are you it for?
Jeannie.
I have a feeling it's because of us that Jude ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you out.
Well, you can't.
Sorry?
You are. Get lost. Don't be like that, Jeannie. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I know you wouldn't.
You think you know me? Pull the other one.
Oh.
You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me chance, I'd nix into a punch-up on any day of the week. Just to see what I could lie my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am.
But Jeannie!
I'll be in court tomorrow, you said. Some cop came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me, and said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. You couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Jeannie?
Ouch! That is one stern look Susato is giving Gina. Okay, Lestrade, what is going on here? I really like how she always steals it. Okay, so this didn't change. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? They wanted me to sign some papers, representation papers or something like that. It's still gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do.
Why did you think that?
Because that's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums, me whole life. If you want the grown-ups tell ya, it always gets your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen before to me and before I know. Been sold out and nearly stifled on the back of it. You can trust no one. That's the point. Why don't you do your gun to grass? Dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow trial, I could... If you like, in tomorrow trial I could... Forget it!
Jeannie! Don't you trust Runa?
Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbrokers. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the store. But the old bloke's working on me and... you know the rest.
But why, Genie? Why would you do that?
Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get for nothing. You don't even get nothing. This is very hard to do. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest! What's the point of that anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference.
Please tell us, Genie. We'll believe you, whatever it is.
Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everybody lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies I have.
What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
Yeah. What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told us are? Maybe we can help? Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna wanna question me now.
Genie, please!
Oh yeah. I wanted to give you this, something to remember me by. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't upon me having it.
I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of that overcoat.
Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Genie.
You know what they say? Examine everything. Finally. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under a heated kotatsu blanket when it's snow. Maybe British cats are different. Look at the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13 February, 9 p.m. Article deposited. 1 small box.
Loan amount paid 10 shillings.
Redemption deadline, April 13, 9 p.m.
So this photographic print is a redemption ticket?
For an article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would...
Yes, a small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Perhaps it contains some valuable mementos? I can't help but wondering. Presumably Mr. McGill never returned the article in question since he still had the ticket. Isn't it possible that the box is still present somewhere in the shop?
Yes! If it's something McGill deposited, we need to investigate. Okay. Wagahai.
Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say.
What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Huh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie! Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believed you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't! What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they're so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Uh-huh. Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, huh? You told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Jeannie? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but... is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial?
And the music just picked up. Alright. The one in which Magnus McGilda was acquitted? The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
Will you tell us about it now? Did you see me broken now? It's because I just realized that for them it's been 2 months ago. But for me it was so many months ago, and I'm finally knowing the truth. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness team. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilda was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
Knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about?
I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing, and then... I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me up from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see by, but when I look at my hands, I got the cops blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had this blood on your hands? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose. Wait. Then Mr. McGilda started asking questions you, I suppose. Who you were, and where were you hiding under the seat? Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was gonna do after the cop was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarp it before the cup is sold out. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything! Of course not. Come on. Here, Gina, look at this. Not that. I wasn't saying you could have it. Oh, you were ya? Well, when someone says I can have stuff, it makes me want it, you see. So you better hand it over now. No, I'm not giving it to you. You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the sea the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true, but... It was when I heard the thud of the cup right on the floor. I heard a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by the arm. And that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where I'd been stabbed. A desk, all bright and shiny. A disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one with the D took off me at... The one with the D took off me at Windybanks. So the music box was there on the floor of the omnibus? Not for long. McGilded spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartly and stuffed it in his inside pocket. So that desk was in the omnibus 2 months ago, at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bug trader told me. I weren't to mutter a word of it to know. Because it was so dark under the seat on the cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilded getting on board. Nah, not only him. Huh? Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. They entered together.
In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim, Mr. Trashford Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taking a first tiredness and I always succumb to it.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported his.
All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices. What? What were you talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud.
But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other.
So McGilded was lying as I suspected. I knew it wasn't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed.
Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly.
So when the cab came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The 2 cops from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor?
Now then, fella.
Now then. Now then, Now then, fella. What I need you to do is to take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's say now. I'll give you 10 guineas. Beppo!
And Mervyn's pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Windybanks. The coach snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. But then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened the box and the receipt and let me get out of there, but not without conditions.
I see.
Conditions. What were Mr. McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free at me? Not telling a soul, not for anything, not about what I saw or what I had. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah. This is the most important thing, is it? This is the most important thing? Is it? Alright. After sending the coachman in a little errand for me, with some small change in his ends. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked him to go pop your whistle, right? Aye, the fence taken me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you lass to take the redemption ticket for it. Did you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right, and I'll come fetch it for you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it.
Alright then.
And in case I may happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, win the bank stories, and you're to extend the loan for the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend could come along and buy it.
But I ain't got that kind of brass.
Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny if you go against me.
Yeah, I get it.
Good, and one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye, they'll come asking you to take in stand court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you may say? And what is it that you want? After he'd gone over it all, I picked it. Got as far away from there as I could. I hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGilded planned it. I coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Well, the guy is dead now, right? I bet you're ready to string me up, huh? I lied. In that big old courtroom. I told some carcass. The thing is that I would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he treated me with.
What a wicked man.
He knew everything what went in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together.
So you mean Mr. McGilded would have...
In our bit, he'd have a lot of us chased out to where if we wanted to. And then, where we could have gone? Nowhere. That's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But I'm for it now, huh? Go on, admit it. You must believe it. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. A favor? What? Sign the representations papers for tomorrow's trials.
Huh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sean was shot, you see.
You what? Emily's having a big operation right now, Jimmy. Is it bad? Is it gonna be alright? Shums is gonna be alright, right?
That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sean's sake as much as anything. Right.
So what you're saying is if I sign that bit of paper, everything's happy, is that it?
Something like that. Miss Sato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here.
I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer, or nothing. Don't believe you.
Poor Jeannie. She seems so lonely.
Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windybanks now.
Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Jeannie when we're done there.
I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now have her presentation papers. No one else knows what responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can stop us investigating at Windybanks. Although something tells me he's not gonna be happy about it. This was a very short part. I can still go for another hour. Hey, right, B. 5 months later, I finally know what happened. Why Gina was there. In the first place, I was wondering why she was away. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to throw these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Spectre. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? You should go home and get some rest.
Here you are, Grexy. Here are the representation papers.
Wish I should check before this.
Your ladyship! Oh! I don't believe it! How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragamush to sign that? I salute you, that is good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue.
Look. Is it the same line from every single time? Okay, it actually changed. Lovely, let's see now.
Yes, just I hardly feel tired at all.
I'm as fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we... I need another coffee. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then?
Do as you please. You know where it happened? Through the door behind the counter.
Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windybank and Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the jar needs to investigate urgently. What? That must be what Leslie sprung her by my far more serious matter before.
So what I'm saying is don't get under my feet, sunshine.
Come then, let us not waste any more time.
Finally. We're gonna end up finding Sholmes here, aren't we? 3 golden balls.
That's right. That sign shows the shop is a pawnbrokery. I bet like your armrest shows you're a defense lawyer.
And what's the significance of the 3 golden balls? Does it have some special meaning?
I expect Hurley would like to answer that question when he's back from the hospital.
You mean you don't know? What is this? Ah, look here!
Ah, yes, a bullet hole. And I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
What? Presumably Mr. Windibank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time.
Ah, well. Mr. Sean likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry?
It's all there in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Ah, did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often? Shouldn't even do it at once!
Forget that for now, Runa. Let's add some on this bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Aha! And maybe we're able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runa?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see? When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no, what is that scary looking thing?
Well, I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch!
What? Give me a second. Coffee! Okay, let's continue while the water boils. The color of the blood stain has changed.
There, does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see.
Is this a blood type?
Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at in a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? Isn't it? The genie would say it's bleeding great.
To be quite honest, I'm pretty sure that this is actually something that not even in the actual world we can get. So whose blood are we looking at then?
Well, all the chemicals does it turn the blood into a different color, so... Just find someone whose blood turns the same color, and you'll know who it belongs to in a flash.
It's more like 2 flashes really, isn't it?
One flash or 2. This could very well turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must make a note of it in the court record. Let's keep testing and adding the result of any other blood analysis into the portfolio. As long as I have reagent left, sure.
I'm fairly sure this contraction was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it close again.
Oh, yes. That's a faulty stereoscope.
Really? This is stereoscope?
Mr. Sholmes
showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions.
But for that he used that great big contraption over there. Ah well, that's for using public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But these little things are much simpler design for use at home. These are special shops. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I could make money out of this in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. Wow! It boiled really fast. Be right back. Here we are. Okay, let's keep going. This is the strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as they were right in front of your eyes. It makes you think when Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday. We were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Shh, get down! Oh, sorry? There's a major clue just here.
Really? We must tell Grexy at once.
But as soon as I report that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over my shit. They really have a tough time, the British police. Oh god, I just remember Rolly.
It doesn't stop us investigating though, does it?
No, I suppose not. Probably sure it was a calendar he was peering at. Green blood. You seem wrong somehow. Oops.
Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are plenty pinks and purples too, you know. And like I said, everyone's blood is different.
I wonder what color my blood will turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. I hope it's not a... What's the name for that? Oh, whoops. There.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasure among the junk, you know. Are you alright, Luna?
Oh, it's just... well, it looks like a collection of useless junks as a whole. But when you pick out individual things, you can't help but wishing you own them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
The police are scoring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instruction for the guard are to examine every article in the shop, and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely? I've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene at the early hours. We're sifting through it all in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even one day, we'll barely have scratched the surface. A crime in a pawnbroker's. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know. A crime in a pawnbroker's. Oh, apparently I was right.
That's a music box. You have them where you come from, Bruno?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you first looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Crixie to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. That's the article ledger here, and Mr. Windibank's notes, and what's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photograph of Springville behind.
Look at the back! There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show us, Susie, show us!
Oh! This is a bloodstain. One gentleman's overcoat. When? This is clearly the ticket that was used for the overcoat. But there's blood there. When did this get there? This is striking me as odd. Very, very odd. Loan amount paid £1, redemption deadline, blah blah blah. A gentleman's overcoat. Pawned for £1? Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think...
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to Matilda. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten in the back of a photograph though.
It seems Mr. Windibank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have at hand.
But this photograph of a cat? It looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Yes, you're right! Very recently! It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course! I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Naruto? Get it out!
Alright, blah blah blah, I had already checked this out. Yes, they're exactly the same! There's something wrong here. They're slightly different. This is clearly meant to be in the... yeah.
I've got it! These two photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really want to know?
Yes, we need to tell... We need you to tell us all about this pair of photographs. Girl, it's not actually that much of a mystery. That layer that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in spawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head, if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Windibank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care. I can see the secret of the pictures. They go here.
sorry, Ginny. This is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean.
I'll defend her with everything I've got.
So she'll be alright, won't she?
Am I that bad at instilling confidence? The way you can identify differences in people's plot like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris.
I know, I am. If Harley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists.
And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges, couldn't you, Mr. Nehruna? Oh, for sure, even if I didn't intend to. So Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one who we found here on Mr. Windybank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints? They're not identical, and that's the secret. They're pretty much for the stereoscope.
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
They're not?
How about you look at them now? Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
You think so? It's very subtle though.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Oh well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't.
These pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London's raving about them at the moment.
Ah, stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently?
Oh, yes. That's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see there? It's just over there.
Ah, yes, of course! That magical machine that makes picture look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually...
Oops.
It's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures, even without one of these contraptions.
What? Really? Ah, much better.
Did you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, wonderful! Then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know. Have you ever considered, Bruno, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because you have two eyes.
2 eyes? Shocking.
If you try closing just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye. Are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seem to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can see depth. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain is really amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me.
Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
So, if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints?
Yes, Runa, you're beginning to understand.
This is too hot. Okay. And my stereoscope function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can? Really?
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Sato-san really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me. And see if you can copy.
This is absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna post these pictures everywhere on the internet.
Alright, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
No.
There, how's that? Wonderful! Now it's your turn, Runa. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eye.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by starting at one print and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images like this. You try it now, Runa.
I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose.
The print split into images for you. Now the next step
Oh, they actually are expecting me to do this.
is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then try crossing your eyes again. The prints should slowly merge together until they form a new single image in the center. Oh yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works! I can see it in the middle now! It looks so real! Oh, I could look at it all day!
Oh my god. I couldn't resist. I had to do this mid-stream because oh my god. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Runa.
Oh god, no.
Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly close your eyes.
It's too much for me.
Keep adjusting your position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Oh god. It's too much for me.
There, you managed it! So now you know how stereoscopic images work! Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really looks quite extraordinary. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Bruno?
They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. It hurts.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here.
Click.
Then set a pair of photographs in the stand at the back end.
It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Gyroscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the fake with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. I never ever heard of... Oh, oops. I never heard of them until yesterday. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. Oh boy. Let's check the second one. It really does look like we're high. It looks exactly the same as first photograph at the time, so it's so compelling. And now we have both pictures. I could have another way go out of viewing them as a stereoscopic image. So I need to cross my eyes and blah, I don't want to do this. This is a ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday.
Yes, I've been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilded 2 months earlier.
One gentleman's overcoat, and the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of the coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Could that have anything to do with all this? It's definitely gonna have something to do with it. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. Behind that door.
It's the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Crixie said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windyfang, face down on the floor with Gina beside him.
As the Q's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruto. We must make a thorough We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course, and we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime.
Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them.
So I guess we can move now. Ah, okay. Oh boy. Poor Iris. She's climbed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Oh!
Wait, Inspector!
What is it now, Sunshine?
You took one look at me and tried to run away.
You think a Scotland Yard Inspector would run away from some jumped-out little defense lawyer, do ya?
Well, I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, isn't it? I didn't know what to say to her. You weren't running away from me, you were running away from the 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is a little too much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Huh?
Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship.
I mean, at least you're not dead, are you?
Oh my god! That...
I don't think that went very well.
Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet.
And we have investigation to do ourselves.
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh, honey.
An inquiry into how Mr. Shom's operation is going. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think?
We don't tend to share, Sunshine, not with the general public.
Okay, we have already shared this. Is it the same for all of this? Do we have an autopsy? It's surprising that he doesn't react to this. Lovely. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. What is it, Iris?
That's the boss file that my manuscript was being kept in.
Iris' unpublished story? The Hound of the Baskervilles? Surely that's not what all this.
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, it's solid. We must check inside the box at once. Yes. Ah! It was there! Iris' story was there!
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believe Curly when he said he deposited there. But still, it's a relief to actually see it.
Really? Because that's not a very well hidden frown. Oh, it has her name. That's cute. The Hound of the Baskervilles. But it's too sad to sound on that side title of this unpublished story. I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me.
I'm so sorry.
I'm actually surprised that this is all that we have to check. Especially with a 3D model. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look!
Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, Sunshine. Wasn't he thinking? Oh, right. He almost has no inner voice. So it's like, he's more like murmuring it and everybody's just there to hear it. This is a revolver! A real one!
And quite possibly the murder weapon. Used to take Mr. Windibank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Bruno look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windibank with this yesterday, didn't we? This is not comfortable to watch again. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Not gonna be easy.
Mr. Windibank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line.
Poor Mr. Windibank. He was a nice old man.
Well, he was shot just once through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. This must be his blood then.
I don't like to ask at such a rich time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action.
Blue.
So, now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Windibank's blood. And it doesn't match your analysis of a blood sample found on the main shot. No, but let's add this sample to the others we've already collected anyway.
So, Inspector, what do you make of the crimes in here?
Sure, you've got eyes, haven't you? Use them! It is what it looks like, nothing more, nothing less.
Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Grexy, what do you make of the crimes in here?
Oh yes, your ladyship, do allow me to humbly explain. Last night at shortly after the hour...
Gregson, you're a freaking wimp. This girl is a 10-year-old! Last night at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to this storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken now, though. What the police officers doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in, as humbly as possible.
Oh!
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor thuswise. And next to the formation body, we discovered the bell-colored child.
Are you talking about Jeannie? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up in the floor, dead to the wall. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say she had a gun that was used in her hand.
No!
Presumably it's the gun that's still down here, there on the floor now. In her pocket we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. How does he summon more fish and chips? I wish I could summon food.
Obviously, my personal opinion is that all sound of misunderstanding.
Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. I knew that he was gonna say this.
Rexy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he?
The thing is,
Not Mr. Worms, Inspector, please! You don't mean to say that Mr. Shumps is...
No. The operation is done and dusted. It's just, well...
Out with it!
Yes, ma'am! They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive.
The whole body? Anesthetized? Is that even possible?
It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness, in the Empire of Japan we can just manage. They provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, so I hear. And now that the operation's finished, they can get him to wake up, apparently.
Oh my!
No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in his system, or if the blood's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is to stand back and watch until he comes around again.
Early!
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you.
What a surprise, even if matters of life and death, Mr. Lechon has to do things his way. Iris?
Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely.
I don't know where to go now. Oops. Nope. Well, of course not here. Oh, okay. With Gina. Gina doesn't appear to be here.
I believe she must be in question at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute.
What is it, Iris?
Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, another possibility, isn't there? Gina could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my!
Why would you do something like that?
It would only make her situation worse. Calm down, Rula. I was only joking, of course.
Oh, you had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction.
Yes, it must be with your way of words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive.
Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms.
Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Schoenhood had just thrown his head back and coughed.
I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk with Tina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime.
Yes, come along then, Bruno. Come along, Susie.
Wow, first time in quite a while that I'm stumped. Maybe if I present him something? Oh, it actually reacted to this.
Is that what I think it is? Your latest ship's latest...
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Ah, a most fascinating tale titled, your ladyship. Fascinating, and I don't suppose. Would there be animation of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember.
I see. Well, what would you, your ladyship? I'll just await its publication with eager anticipation. Well, why would you, your ladyship? You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. You looking to be arrested, Sunshine? I didn't mean it like that! And even if I did, you wouldn't have beaten her ladyship's head off, would you? Presenting everything? Maybe the blood style? Not this. Maybe this. Oh! Inspector, what do you make of this? What do we have it here, then? A retention ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of his stationery and wrote a ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is a ticket for McGilder, Culver Code, the one that little diver turned up with yesterday. Oh, actually no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do you? No, I didn't mean it to...
Bruno's right, Grexy. It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship.
What's all this about then, if I may be so bold to ask?
This is a second ticket.
Second one? It seems that Mr. McGilder in fact had another article in storage here at Windybanks. Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the Inspector, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilder's overcoat.
Huh? You mean to tell me?
Yes, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems. I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the Jardins and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilder deposited another article here with Mr. Windybank.
Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Grexy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilder. It could be an important clue.
Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I lose my marbles, I will go barking. This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector. That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the retention deadline's already passed, isn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be here then.
That's right. It's been forfeited. It's not anymore pickable.
Which means it could be on the shelves on the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in front.
Oh, wait. Yes, the shelves on the front. We must search them at once.
You're wasting your time.
Oh?
There are dozens of little boxes out there. Hundreds even. We can possibly know which one might have been for McGilder. That information was written at the ledger.
Well, I think we should at least have a look just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. I did see a box here. There it is. Even reacting different here.
Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by their original owners are offered for sale. That's right! People got little price tag labels on them, but there are so many.
I wonder if the small box this ticket was for is still on the shelf somewhere. The box that McGilder deposited here just 2 months ago.
Even if it were found, it promises to be very troublesome. There are so many boxes! It could be any one of them.
Mr. Shum said the pawnbroker's was the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank's vault. But perhaps this small box of Mr. McGilder's contains something of a very great value.
Well, if that's the case, he probably kept it locked.
So then we need to find every box with a lock and break them all open.
Yeah! That sort of misconduct would get you arrested. I won't let that happen.
Oh, this takes me back. It's been some time since Susato-san last threw me.
Oh, my manuscript.
Mr. Shum said he deposited it at the Windybanks and he's had.
But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would you only say I can publish it?
I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose.
Oh, maybe. Because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe they didn't give him enough good lines.
Yes, maybe. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. Oh, maybe the officers? Okay, so not here. Maybe there's something in the description. Nope.
Mr. Naruto, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I have noticed.
The red smear. The red smear, you mean?
Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Susato-san had picked up on that. Well, in that case...
Yes, we need Iris.
We should show this to her before we forget. Oh!
Oh, that looks like blood!
I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Runa. You can leave the rest to me.
Purple? Look at that!
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood sample. It could be an important clue. Although it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood...
Oh, you had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is?
I think I do! Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color return, but with a little deduction.
That's right, I think it's clear. Iris, do you know as well? That fierce, Runa. Who do you think it belongs to?
Alright, I believe that this is the blood of...
Mr. McGilde?
Yes, after all, this redemption ticket belonged to him.
Oh, you don't think you mean that during the incident of the omnibus?
Yes, I expect so. It's very clear plain and no small amount of blood. It must have resulted from a fairly serious accident, such as he might have sustained on the omnibus. Which, now I think about it, it's not his.
Wait, but if I remember rightly, no sign of injury was found on Mr. McGilde at all.
Oh!
We're trying to work out where the blood came from. So we can rule out anyone who hadn't been bleeding straight away.
Yes, I suppose we can. Okay, so it's actually... Thrice-fired Mason?
You don't sound very sure of yourself, the way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course I'd never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice-fired, though.
The victim? Of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was in this Mr. Thrice-fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windybanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at the time.
So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilde was also wearing leather gloves that night. Now as use, what could the artist Cello wouldn't rush to the help of fella fleeing from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was it? I reached out to give the man a hand. It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, does Mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time, anywhere on his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruto, you sound not just like Mr. Jones. Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope. Yes, I think you're right, Runa. Very well. Let's make a note of this.
Whoa!
Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windibank set us such a wicked trap?
I doubt he set out to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. You may have changed your mind. Don't you remember, Runa? I told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes! Yes, you did! Deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Ah, Gina, good. You're back.
Ah! The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Jeannie? Was it awful? Uh-huh. Oh, that didn't bother me.
Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibanks.
Oh, right.
She won't want it, right?
Don't you want to know how we got on? We've ever been so busy.
What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying, that I did it.
That's not...
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision.
Huh?
What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like to, Mr. Naruhodo, to represent you.
Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The war is just so hard to bear. We found this in Mr. Windibank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris' latest story.
Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then.
Curiously, the storeroom at Windibanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed the manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina? Who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night.
Huh?
You were determined to find out whether or not the Great Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Why don't you tell us what happened? Please. Did you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Windybanks, isn't it? The one for that black coat overcoat that you're wearing now. Eh? What? That? I don't know. They look the same to me, those tickets. Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it. That will appear to be blood. Huh? Does that ring any bells? I don't know. It looks the same to me. Blood. And they all sound the same to me, these answers. Suspicious. Gina, I'd like to thank you for signing these papers. If you want to thank me, you can do it once you caught me out of the hook. Alright then. Wait, what? Didn't she be thanking me then? You know what, Mr. Naruoda? It ain't good manners to expect thanks if you do someone a favor. I know that! It's as tricky with words as she is with her fingers. Yeah, she already saw all of this. Okay. Oh, alright then! Blimey, give it a rest with the nice Iris! So come on, Del, fill us in. Who done it? Fortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say! We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruto and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know why you broke into Windybanks that night. Alright, yeah. This Vasker Bell story, it's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't printed yet. I figure it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right?
Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds. What?
So, you intended to sell Iris' manuscript, did you?
No, really? How could you?
What? Wait! No, hang on! Of course I wasn't gonna sell it! All I wanted to do was find out if the mantle script or whatever you call it really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place.
For Iris' sake, isn't that right?
Iris's. We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before. We already know all of this.
Oh, Ginny, that's so sweet of you.
Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all.
You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest, if it really deposited the manuscript at Windybanks.
It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father.
But Iris is not iron like mine. She's got her dad, only she can see him.
And I reckon that's gonna be all of them. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Last night, when I was listening to what you were saying.
Stories about Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner. Well, that's how it's said, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and so kind, Jenny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look! Give it a rest, will ya? You know, I ate all this chummy nonsense, do you hear me? I ate it! Don't trust no one, right? That's how it works, because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone! Go on, Scarpa!
I didn't notice until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves on that overcoat. Are some very suspicious red stains.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it might be worth presenting some other findings in that area to Gina now. We already have the representation papers and other documents we need. All we have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow.
No, don't bother. Nini!
Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation papers or whatever they're called. Dress presentation. This selling is fancy enough to have a pen. So what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own.
I don't think you will be.
Look, it doesn't matter. What's gonna happen, gonna happen. This one's a stubborn pickpocket. Huh? What, that? I don't know. Oops. I don't know. What's it sent to me? Blood. Oh, I get it. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo.
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. But could it be blood that spattered from Mr. Windibank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get reason much faster than anything else. Take it easy, Ares. Don't move, Genie. I'm going to shoot.
Gonna be purple.
Oh. Oh my. What the?
Forget the sleeves! The whole coat is covered in blood! Of course! The black color of the fabric was masking the stains! That's why we haven't seen them until now!
And the blood was reacting with the chemical to turn into a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha! Yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, victim of a murder case 2 months ago.
Knew it.
What are you on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story! Wait, I must have more time than something truthful.
There's really no need, it's not relevant at the moment just to say so. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony.
Now you ask, yes, what could hurt their soul when reached to the help of Flelabrine from his stomach? It wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilded trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No, if that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over in the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilded's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded.
Mr. Naruhodo.
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony, all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Rana, did you believe him though? Did you believe Mr. McGilded was innocent?
I believed. Rather, I think what I was trying to believe. Wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us, we can fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. What's funny, Gina? Of course, sounds like this empire in this empire of Japan you came from. Everyone must be soft. Well, come on! Look at the mess it's got, Jinta. Believe in that bog trotter. Yes. I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. Well, at least you've learned your lesson now, huh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stab you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you're at it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one.
Gina, may I ask you something?
What?
I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these
Representation papers for tomorrow? How many times I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer of that. Don't forget it was me in the trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after all that? Not likely.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
A lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. Whoops! Oh, okay, I was gonna choose anyway that. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Huh? Are you half-baked?
Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
Seriously, Mr. Naruoda? Naruoda?
Did you hear all what I've said before? I'm a born liar. They've just ripped off my tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget.
I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago, and what you got you into all sorts of trouble. Sorts of.
God, I'm tired of their accent. Oh, thank God it's almost over for this chapter.
Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it! Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Huh?
It's true that I'm just a student of law. I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side.
What do you expect me to say to that?
Oh God, she's crying!
Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparation for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. What'd you like? You Mr. Lodar. I don't know what you are, I don't get you.
Gina's taking herself off the back of her cell. She never admitted, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think.
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once! Eavesdropping is a height of cowardice!
Mr. Sato?
Somebody's there in the shadows, I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What? Blimey, you're sharp, huh? Oh, blimey, you're sharp, huh? I suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about. Gregson? If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Rexy!
I was about to ask what happened with Jones. I'm guessing he comes to stay there? Oh dear me! I'm almost terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening into our conversation?
Good grief, listening in? No.
I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave and I thought it was after hours. I assured you, your ladyship, I only just arrived. This very moment, not a moment earlier. That is all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye-bye now, bye-bye, bye, bye. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship.
Oh, but I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but I'm his present at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with Sharpish. Lord Strongheart will... well...
Emergency?
Lord Strongheart?
Nothing, forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
Alright, Grexy, if you have to, but let's chat soon.
Delighted, John, can't wait into place, my pleasure.
That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere.
Grexy's so funny. He says such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police phone into a 10-year-old girl. And kinda creepy. But anyway, what's this emergency is at the Supreme Court?
I must attend to the court clerk's office now before 8 classes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mr. Sato.
Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
This is still going. Oh, there it is. And so our investigation came to an end. Sato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling if that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Sato-san will be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, isn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Mr. Sato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Shun was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, all on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill, and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant.
Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. One final task? The Hound of Baskervilles. Iris unpublished work.
Yes, so Mr. Shun was telling us all the truth. He didn't deposit it for safekeeping with Mr. Windybank.
True, but then, that still leaves the question of how Susato knew the full title.
I haven't read it myself yet.
Ah, no!
I realized I spoke carelessly last night. It was a dreadful mistake.
I know that you must have your reasons for not telling us anymore.
I'm so sorry.
So about this.
Wait!
Okay, I just remembered that this is just the I don't know. This is the I don't know.
This one document could be the key to Gina's fate. We must fight tooth and nail for her freedom. Tooth and nail!
You're very passionate about it, I see. Not that I don't understand. You know, I was surprised to see how neatly Gina signed her name.
Oh!
You wouldn't have expected it from an orphan East End pickpocket, would you?
Well, this is Great Britain with a wonderful education system.
Wait a minute, this was written with a feud brush.
And by a very skilled hand.
It was you who wrote it, wasn't it?
Oh dear. And I was insistent, so I couldn't refuse.
That explains a lot. Yep, this is the same. I actually thought that she was gonna say something about,
oh, but now that I'm leaving it, this is very important for me to know. Blah blah blah.
What's the matter with me?
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office.
Whoops.
It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we're only here being for a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel like I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complete manner, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of them of the total facets. and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some powers we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much. But I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated. And I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
Because what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark.
It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry, I've what?
Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant.
You know what time you will leave London in the morning?
Yes. I picked up my ticket earlier.
I shall be leaving here at 4 AM. Oh my god! I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not!
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but...
Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try.
I know what's gonna be. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? A huge bundle of documents.
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The McGilded case?
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windibank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
With everything else she had to think about, Sato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Susato-chan. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry? I didn't quite what you just said there.
Oh! Ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself.
I'm so curious to know what she wrote there, but I have time.
Well, it's getting rather late.
Okay, I was actually able to check. Mason Milverton, male. Okay.
Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Sato-san, I
wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Wait, there's something I need to say.
Hiya!
What was that?
Secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown.
Shutdown?
Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my...
that too soon. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours getting Gina to open up to us and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted. And yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes. And as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed. I fell into a deep sleep. Whoa! I didn't get it to be continued. Oh, the small hours. What is this? Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Shaw. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear madam. What is going on here? Oh. Okay, that was very cool. To be quite honest, I was thinking of just stopping completely the stream the moment that I saw the blood splatter all over Gina. Because that would have been a fantastic cliffhanger. But I guess that I was saying that I was gonna finish until the next continue. And I did not expect that the second one was so farting, much more farting than the first one. But for now, I guess we won't see Susato for now. I'm sad. Okay? Try to pick up this as soon as possible. But for now, thank you very much, everyone.